Heard all the buzz surrounding the VA world, but wondering if it's really possible to make good money whilst working online? Sasha Eburne spills all in this episode of the Crystal Vision podcast, where she takes us through step by step her strategy to 30K months, $30,000 months as a virtual assistant. If you run a service-based business, I'm telling you, you have to tune into this episode. Also, make sure to rate and review this podcast wherever you are listening to it, as it helps get the word out and get more money into the hands of more women. That's what we're all about. So here is the episode.
Hello and welcome to the Crystal Vision podcast, where we dive deep into the strategies and energetics of business, money, and mindset mastery so as to create the next generation of wildly wealthy women. My name is Olivia Clare, and I'm a serial entrepreneur who is obsessed with giving you all of the tools that you need to create your crystal clear vision of success. Each week, you will hone in on your unique zone of genius and embody the highest version of yourself to reverse engineer your way to your dream life. If you're ready to let go of the hustle and effortlessly call in more money, more growth, and more fulfillment, stay tuned. Hi, Sasha. Welcome to the Crystal Vision podcast. How are you doing today?
Great. Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
I'm so excited to chat with you. You are created the entrepreneur behind the VA way. And I find that, it's so interesting now that we have social media and so many people use things like TikTok and Instagram, because I feel like it reflects the trends, or it reflects things that people are starting to explore in their everyday life. So for example, right after COVID, I saw it's not like a trend, it's what people are doing, but to speak, a trend of people talking about becoming a VA, or here's how to make $10,000 a month being a VA and all this sort of stuff. So I'm so excited to talk to you about VA life, what it means, how we can do it in a way that we can incorporate it into our lives, even if it's a side hustle or what we do for a job. So I want to talk about you first and how you actually became a VA, or how this all got started for you.
Yes. So I was a casualty of COVID. So I didn't know what a VA was, and I was working in hotels as a sales director, and COVID hit and sales teams were the first to go because we were no longer selling. So it was an interesting roller coaster of a year in and out of different jobs. Landed a job as an EA to a director in a very different industry, and it just wasn't for me. Wasn't the sort of environment that I was used to. And during the pandemic, I joined the Body Shop at Home and was selling Body Shop at Home to make a bit of extra cash. And I was doing online parties. And one of the girls that I knew from the hotel industry, she was a client. I went and met with her, gave her her Body Shop at Home that she bought me in a park, because you can have coffee in a cafe. And I was like, what are you doing now? And she's like, oh, I'm a VA and I only work 3 days a week. And I was just like, tell me more. And I watched the space for about 6 months, to be fair. She added me to a lot of Facebook groups and I just explored. And in hindsight, I probably should have jumped a lot earlier. And I think it's, you generally wait for the right time. And one week, I wasn't having the best week at work, and I saw probably about 10 leads on these Facebook groups. I was just like, what's it going to hurt? Quickly did up a website, quickly got everything ready, and within 24 hours, I had my first client.
Wow, that's incredible.
It went really fast. I still pinch myself today, and I gave up my full-time job within the first week.
Holy moly.
And then I was booked out within 3 weeks. And by the time we hit 6 months, I had a team of 10 around the country. About that time that I decided that I would move into coaching. So coaching others to be able to do what I did. So now I work across both of the businesses, and now I get to make an impact in business owners and supporting their goals and shifting them forward with myself and the team, supporting them in a VA capacity. And then I also get to help other women around the country create an income for themselves.
This has just created so many follow-up questions for me, because as someone who, I felt like I grew fast when I was doing my business, and that is insane. So how did you go from being booked out yourself, and it's sort of like a two-part question here. When did you make the decision that you wanted to like hire team members and scale? And how'd you do it? Like, you know, I think that's what everyone's sort of trying to do. It's like, first of all, you want to figure out how to actually make money doing what you want to do. That's like the first step. And that takes time. And then once you get there, how do you actually scale that so you can just make more and more and more? So yeah, when did you make that decision and how'd you do it?
I made the decision when I was booked out, and I explored it for a little bit, and I was just like, I just need more of me.
Yeah.
Because I'm booked out, I've got great clients, but I'm stuck in this, oh, I see all these amazing leads and I, want to jump in and help all these business owners, but I don't have any more time in the day. And I could take, another 3 clients and just work 24/7, but that's not great for anyone.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, how do I clone myself? And then I started looking into what's a subcontractor, what's an employee, and really kind of, just started to see what was out there. And at the same time, I could still see all of these leads, being floated around. I'm like, there's definitely work out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then worked out which model was better for me. And at the time it was a subcontractor. And I hired before I was ready. So I hired people into the team and I gave them tangible stuff within my business to, I guess, trial them out. Like, if they can't do stuff in my business, then I don't want to let them loose into working with clients.
Yeah.
And, I kind of had them there and I hired for the skill sets that I had within the team. So if I knew that this person was great at this, I looked for leads that suited that person so people could stay in their zone of genius. I haven't always done that. However, that's generally the strategy that I use. And then once I had one, I was like, okay, this is great. And then I just kept on going from there.
Amazing. And so when we talk about VA, what does that really look like? Like, is that just how broad or is it very specified? I guess it would depend business to business, but can you just explain what a VA is and what they would do within someone's business?
Sure. I get this question asked a lot because a lot of people have never heard the term VA before still. And I guess there's a misconception about, well, what does a VA do? So it's a great question. A VA essentially is a label that can encompass many different things. But the definition of a VA is a self-employed person offering business services to a business. So a lot of people think that they need a VA job. And yes, there are some VA businesses around the country that do hire employees, but generally speaking, it's a self-employed person. With regards to what that VA does is actually completely up to them. And a lot of people start off in the administration, email management, diary management kind of EA services or personal assistant services, because a lot of that can be mapped over from different industries. So we get people that jump in from working in childcare or working in different offices and things like that. And that's kind of an easy jump in. Then you've got the people with a lot more specialized skills. So you've got people that have been marketing managers or directors, people that know how to do social media or graphic design or copywriters, where they're still considered VAs. And it's more about whether they niche or whether they don't niche. So you'll see people out there calling themselves a social media VA or a social media strategist. It's really any number of things. It's just based upon the skills and the services that they offer to clients.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. And I feel like I'll just clarify because I don't know if you said it, but VA stands for virtual assistant. So
that's right. Yes.
It's usually like digital, and you'll be working with online businesses generally.
Yeah, that's right. The majority of clients that I guess we work with are the entrepreneurs, like you said, online businesses. We do have some bricks and mortar businesses that we work with as well.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So your tagline in Instagram is let's build, grow and scale your VA business to $30,000 months. So yes. I want to talk about that. 30,000 is a big number. We see like 5K months, 10K months, and you're out here saying, no, let's scale to 30K months. So where'd you get that number from? How do we do it? I want to hear all about it.
So last year I was saying, let's get your business to 10K months.
Yeah.
And I'm very much an advocate of saying that after I've done it multiple times over.
Okay.
So by the end of last year, yes, we were making consistent 10K plus months in the VA business alone. Coaching is always separate when I talk about the success of the VA business. Moving forward into 2023, everything changed. And we are now consistently making more than 30K months.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
we move from the 10 to the 30. However, it's actually more than 30. And like I said, I only say that when I've done it myself over and over and again, so that I can share my strategies with the people that come in to coach, to empower them to go and, follow the strategies that I've learned, and through my coaching, support them to getting to those months.
Amazing. And so what did you have to change in order to go from a 10K month to a 30K month?
It was valuing our services.
Mm-hmm.
So pitching at the right rates to value the expertise that we had in the team, and growing the team and growing the clientele. And it wasn't just getting more clients on board, it was working with the clients that we had to add on additional services as well. Not easy, but beneficial growth, because that was less resources to get a better outcome. Yeah. Whereas when it comes to new clients, obviously there's a lot more client acquisition, making sure we've got the talent within the team to grow as well, and really trying to build that cohesive team. And I guess the team has very much been consistent for the last 6 months as well. So that's really shone through client retention as well. So client acquisition, client retention, and a really cohesive team environment has really shifted the needle forward, and focusing on ongoing clients rather than projects that kind of come in and out of your business.
Yeah, I love this, because I feel like it's something that we forget sometimes. The cost of actually acquiring clients is so high. And I also think there's something beautiful, especially if you're working in marketing or in sales with a business, like the idea of being able to grow with them, so that, you're actually, that's your job, or that's your role, is to help grow their business. And when you grow their business, you can continue to raise your prices or expand your services with them, so you're also growing as well. So I find it to be almost indicative, like if that's the way that you've gone about it, about the success that you're managing to find for your clients, because they're not like, well, I'm not going to give you more money because I'm not getting anything from you. It's like, no, obviously, because their business is growing, your services for them will continue to grow as well. And it's the low-hanging fruit, really. Like, especially if you're working well with them, and like you said, it's not like those clients that you might have, or businesses, the freelancers that you might work with, where it's like, absolutely, once this contract is done, we're never speaking to each other again. It's really a marker of a healthy relationship. And I love that approach, because I think we can make it really simple. And sometimes I just get bogged down by the thought of more, because with more, sometimes it's more complex. And there's actually 2 ways to grow your business. So you can raise your prices and continue to raise your skill set, or get more and more and more. So, that's not the only way to scale, is what I'm trying to say. Is getting more clients. Yeah. I'm super curious. I love business. I love all different types of businesses. And you've spoken about how you have this VA business, and I have this coaching business, and I have an agency, and I have done some coaching in the past, but purely for my personal intrigue, what do you prefer, and what one do you feel like is more healthy and more profitable?
It's interesting, because I think as my business evolves, what I love doing evolves as well. So in the beginning, it was the VA business, and it was supporting the clients and really assisting them to shift their businesses forward. The love for that changed when I moved into coaching. However, I'm still very much involved in the VA business. I sell and I look after the team, and that's what I love. So it's still empowering the team to get the results for the client. So the end goal is still the same. However, my involvement and what I do and what drives me has changed. And then in the coaching business, it certainly is a bigger impact piece for me. The more businesses that I can support create, the more incomes that I can support, allowing women, if they don't want to go back to the 9 to 5 and they want to work less but still earn more money, that is what drives me in that business. And I guess if you're talking about profitability, I would say the coaching is, because it's more one-to-many. Whereas in the VA business, it is one-to-one.
Yeah.
So whereas now I moved my model in coaching, I was working one-on-one with clients to support them to set up their business. I now coach many people at one time. Yeah. So if you're talking about profit, definitely the profit. So rather than coaching one person, I generally can coach up anywhere from 5 to 10 at the same time.
Yeah, I love that. And it's something I'm thinking about in my business as well, like digital products. This is the thing, we can get it right. And your situation to me is, I love when I hear things like that, because it just reaffirms something that I really believe, which is sometimes you choose your business and sometimes your business chooses you. And usually when, you try something and it works really quickly, really drastically, it's a sign that you were meant to be there all along. And I also think there's so much preaching about passion in business. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's also your job. Like, just because you don't have to wake up and love it every single day. If it's making money and it's working, like, don't drop it all just because you have like a new passion overnight. Like, have passions outside of your work. Like, that's totally fine. Sometimes work is boring. That's why I'm just curious about that perspective. And like, even the idea of selling like a digital product, like whether it's a course or a PDF guide, whatever it might be, it's just so like exactly what you said, one to many. Whereas when you work in an agency or you have a service-based business, it can feel like a drag sometimes, because it is that one-to-one, even though it's good and it's fun and it works. There's something that's like really exciting about the thought of like making something once and it can just sell as many times without like any more work. So that's why I was curious to hear. But I love that impact piece as well. Have you found that people are able to do it? Like, essentially anyone can be a VA.
If they struggle to use tech and a computer, they may struggle. And we teach tech to a point. Like, we might do some training on Canva and a few other products to use. However, if you don't know sort of how to check emails and administration and things like that, then it would be quite difficult, because we don't teach that. However, they could go and learn that quite easily. There are other courses out there to do before they can come into this space. So yes, it can really be suitable for anyone. But I want to touch on one thing that you mentioned about the digital products and creating something. Because I feel that sometimes a lot of VAs, they might get booked out and then they just think that that's it. So they might think that the only way to grow their business is to grow a team, and that might not be for them. So even, creating for themselves digital products that they can sell is another revenue stream. And we do talk about that a little bit in our academy. It's like, well, what other revenue streams are there that can you bring into your business without growing a team? And there's actually quite a few different variables. So I think it's a good thing to mention that it's not just capped at your hours.
Yeah, I love that. It's good perspective, because it's exactly what you said. You get booked out and you're like, okay, I just need more of me. But sometimes, what we're good at is doing the thing, not necessarily managing a team, or it's not something that we want. So I think that's a really powerful distinction and discernment that we get to make in our businesses.
Exactly.
Say someone's listening to this and they're like, okay, I can use a computer. I've got some skills in XYZ. I want to do a VA. Like, what's your number one tip for getting started?
Just to make the decision to get started and lean on the VA community for support. Even if you just want to have a conversation, either with me or with another VA, have a virtual coffee, just have a chat about what a day-to-day looks like. Because it might just open your eyes and give you an insight. And I think a lot of people sit in a state of overwhelm, state of, oh, it's just too scary. I don't think I can do it. A little bit of, imposter syndrome or mindset that they're just like, oh, I'm just going to keep going about my 9 to 5. It's just like, well, you get to choose.
Yeah.
You get to choose to try something else. And unless you explore it, you're never going to know. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. You can still sit in your 9 to 5 and drive for hours on end every day and, spend so much time in an office working for somebody else on somebody else's terms, or just have a conversation. The VA community is a really beautiful community. Even when I started, the amount of people that I just jumped on and had a virtual coffee with to be like, oh, what do you do? How do you do it? Is just really quite beautiful. So just have a conversation and then see if it's for you.
Yeah. Powerful stuff. Yeah. And I love that. Just make the decision. Like,
you
sometimes
get to choose.
That's the hardest part, is just saying, okay, this is something that I want. I'm going to go for it. Yeah. So I know you were talking about leads, and I'm just curious if you have any sort of tactical strategy tips, like even if it's just one little nugget that you can share with us. For example, I really love Upwork personally, because I think sometimes I love the idea of just being able to skip educating the client on what it is that they want. People on Upwork know what they want. They've got their wallet out. They're ready to pay. So tactically, I love Upwork. So I'm wondering if you have any tactical tips or a tactical tip you could share with us.
and this is something I'm really passionate about. A lot of people come into this space to be like, oh, I don't know anything about marketing. How am I going to advertise? I actually have not advertised the entire time I've been in business.
Amazing.
Find where your clients are and where the clients go to ask for support in their business. And depending upon the industry that you decide to work in, will determine the platform that they're on. And if you decide not to niche, which you also don't need to, I know that a lot of people sit in this procrastination, oh my gosh, I have to pick a niche. I never niched until this year. And still, if clients come into our realm, we still look after them. We don't say, I don't look after this niche, so bye-bye.
Yeah.
And I was very much pigeonholed in my career, so that's why I distinctly chose not to niche. So really work out, one, who are the clients that you do want to speak to, and then work out where do they sit and where do they go and ask for support, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Facebook groups, whether it's Instagram. Every industry is different. However, once you get really clear on that, it's about channeling the demand rather than going out there and creating the demand. Yes. You could literally spend hours paying for advertising, speaking to no person, or cold emails, cold outreach, and it's just such a longer game. Whereas if you just work out where the demand is, just go and channel it.
Yes, I love it. I'm so passionate about this as well, because I see people, you know, absolutely hustling away on Instagram, trying to create a message that will attract clients. And I think, gosh, like you could just save so much time by just exactly what you said, going to where it is that they are. Or I think we also forget, like, in-person marketing is a thing. Like, have a conversation with some friends or some family members. Like, do you know anyone who's looking for this? Especially if you're just getting started. Yeah, it's way more important to start working with clients than it is to do anything else. So we worry about the marketing, we worry about the social media first, and it's like, no, get the client first. The other stuff will come later. Yeah.
Exactly. It's do the revenue generating tasks first. Everything else can come. I didn't have Instagram for the first 6 months of my business. Even now on the VA business, it's very rare that I post. So the engagement is quite low. The followers are quite low. However, I don't need to spend time on it because it doesn't actually generate revenue for us.
100. This is like, anyone who's listening, make sure if you've been doing something else, go back and rewind and listen to this, because it's so important. Like, I did not have a website for the first 6 months of my business because I didn't need one. Yeah. It wasn't going to make me any money. I was at 10K months anyway. I was like, I'm busy. I'm good. I don't need a website. So you don't actually need the Instagram. You don't need your About Me page. You don't need to be filming TikTok videos. You need to be working with clients. So focus on that first.
Yeah. I would say probably so far one of the biggest takeaways.
Yeah. Powerful. I love it. Okay, let's switch gears. I want to talk a little bit more about you. What is it that you're currently passionate about in life or in business?
I guess in life, it's about new experiences.
Oh, I love that.
It's, I guess, 2 years in lockdown.
Yeah.
Probably shattered so many travel dreams for a lot of people. I'm mum to a 3.5-year-old, and I want to give her as many experiences as possible. So we do travel a lot, and we get to travel, and I feel like we have 2 years to make up of. Yeah. And we have 3 holidays booked this year, which I'm super excited about. So really just trying to focus on that new experiences as well. And I guess in business, it's about how do I reach more people and make a bigger impact. And,
powerful.
Talking about, podcast launching, potential face-to-face events, and really just trying to get a wider spread, because I believe it's an important message to support people to know that the 9 to 5 is not the only way.
I love it. Where are you off to? I'm a big travel girl. I love traveling, so I have to know.
We're in 2 weeks today. We're going to Thailand.
Yay!
And then a couple of weeks after that, which I didn't realize that they were so close, I'm taking my daughter skiing for the first time.
Oh my goodness.
So hopefully she loves it, because it's been in my blood. I've been skiing since I was 3. So let's hope that she loves it just as much as I do. And then we're taking a cruise early December just to see him back again.
Yeah, he will.
It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere.
The whole point of the cruise is that you don't have to go anywhere. Everything's in walking distance.
Yep.
It's perfect.
Exactly.
I love that. Will you be devastated if she likes snowboarding more? Is that as long as
no. I mean, I normally have the joke like, if you're a snowboarder, we can't be friends.
Yeah.
However, no, as long as she loves the snow, that's fine. But she will go to ski school on skis. So
yeah,
I don't know if she'll even have an interest in it. At such a young age, she'll probably just want to do what I do.
Yeah, and she'll want to like roll around in the snow. I think either way, it's good. I never grew up doing any skiing or snowboarding. And then I tried snowboarding and had a cute little panic attack about it. So I feel like it's just such a good thing to like teach kids when they're younger. It's like, because it's like you can just be one of those people that goes skiing. Like that's how I see it. Anyway, that's a complete.
No, it's exactly it. I get on the slope, and if it's been a couple of years, like, oh my gosh, how am I going to remember that? And it just comes to you. Yeah. It's just muscle memory. Your body knows what to do when you just ski, and it's like, this is actually really cool.
Yeah, having fun.
Skill to have.
Yeah, it is a good skill. It is a great skill, and there's so many beautiful places in the world to do skiing that I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna learn. I might see you there. I'm dying to try skiing. Because I think just snowboarding, the whole being strapped in thing, but I quite like ice skating. I'm not very good at it, but I like that. Yeah, so I'm hoping skiing might be close. We'll see. What are you currently? So I know you sort of spoke a little bit maybe about a podcast, maybe some live events. Is there anything really exciting that you're working on at the moment in your business?
So the podcast is launching in July.
Oh my goodness.
It's in development, and I guess the face-to-face events, it's a really big goal of mine to have big rooms of people to make a big impact. At the moment, it is a dream inside my head. However, it's playing out, so clearly. So it's more about bringing up the time and the space to articulate that and what that looks like, and being able to go out there and support a wider community. So I think once the podcast is launched and out there, that'll be the next project that we will put a lot more time and focus into.
That is so exciting. You will have to let me know, because I'd love to come and just soak up all the energy of it. Especially from an Australian. I'm like, okay, I don't have to fly too far.
Exactly.
Okay, last question. What is your crystal vision for the future? So without revealing too much, what is it that you're working towards now, so that in a few years' time, we'll be able to look back, listen back to the episode and say, she manifested it all?
I think the impact piece really comes down to the live events, and that would be, live events in every city. And then once we go national, then we'll go international.
Yeah.
And support women far and wide across the globe.
That is so exciting. It's in the pipeline. I can feel it. It's coming. Yeah. Okay. Anything I didn't ask you? Anything you want to get off your chest, or any downloads coming through?
No, I think I'm complete.
I think we did it. I love it. Where can people find you so that they can work with you? And I mean, we've got options here. So they can either hire you as a virtual assistant, or they can hire you as a coach. So all the links will be in the show notes. But yeah, just let us know where we can go and stalk you and hang out with you.
Yeah, great. Probably Instagram's a place where I hang out all the time. So Sasha Eburne __, or if you're in need of a VA or even an online business manager or digital marketing, we do it all on Virtually Assisted AU.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing all the little tidbits of wisdom. I can't wait to see you at a live event in the future, coming to a city near me. And enjoy the rest of your day.
Great. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. See you guys.